Ladies and gentlemen, Geri Petito.
I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass. And in time, this too shall pass. I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass. Geri Petito taught the class. I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass. Loves the answer, the greener grass. I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass. One day at a time, free at last.
When you don't know just what to do,
Just what to do, just what to do.
if what you're feeling is really true,
Is it really true? Is it really true?
just keep your ideas safe and sound.
Safe and sound, safe and sound.
That's exactly how change is found.
Change is found, change is found. I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass. And in time, this too shall pass. I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass. Geri Petito taught the class. I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass. Loves the answer, the greener grass. I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass. One day at a time, free at last.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Geri Petito Show. Everyone and anyone who knows me knows I am the author of I'm Not an Addict, I'm Just an Ass. I'd rather be a smartass than a dumbass because, guys, 33 and a half years ago, I was a dumbass. But today, 33 and a half years later, I can honestly say now I'm a smartass. And yes, the word ass is in the Bible at least 40 times, and it means donkey, and that's what I was. And I thank God every day for saving my life. You know, there's a lot of people out there struggling with addiction, with recovery, okay, with health. I'm a nutritional health coach. I'm a recovery coach. All my services to you are free. Please, please reach out and know someone is listening. If you think my book can help someone, because I sure do, you can go right to Simon & Schuster's bookstore, Archway Publishing, BAM, Amazon, Barnes & Noble. You can go to my website, www.geripetito.com. And please subscribe to Geri Petito Show YouTube channel. My book is now on audio with my voice, guys, okay? And you can get that through my website. All right, so now before I introduce my really cool guest, I would like to give a shout out to a few of my sponsors today. Stormin Norman Selden, 732-245-4777, www.storminnormanselden.com, booking dozens of attractions for concerts and performances on venues of all sizes. He's got from a 5 to 12-piece band, guys, and he's a beast on the keyboards. He came live in studio with his keyboards. He's unbelievable. A lot of people don't know this, but he helped get Larry Chance from the Earls back in the day started. Remember the song, Remember Then? That was Larry. Larry was like family. I love and miss you, Larry. We all do, and I know you're singing up there in the heavens. Rest in peace, Angel. And Ken Ryan and Linda Garofolo. The Way It Used to Be, singing songs from the 50s to the 80s, a tribute show to the greatest music and voices of all time. And Ken also sings Elvis for me. Thank you very much. And the two of them together are amazing because they do so many fundraisers. They're just beautiful people. Then, last but certainly not least today, John Bishop, a.k.a. Johnny B., singer-songwriter, host of the Entertainment Luncheon South, a nonprofit network created for the creative. He's also the partner in the Joey D. and Johnny B. Rock and Oldies band. I want to give a shout-out to him and his wife, Linny, because they put on this really great luncheon once a month by invite only, and if you tell them you know me, they might let you in, or they might lock you out. I'm not sure which way that'll go. But it's $20, guys. And you get a great lunch, and you get incredible entertainment. And guess what? They don't keep a penny of it. So shout out to both of them. They're amazing. All right. So now I want to introduce my really cool guest, but I'm going to have him introduce himself because I don't want to mess up his name. So Todd, please say hello to everyone and tell everyone properly your name.
Good afternoon. I'm Todd. Last name is Souhrada.
Souhrada. Okay.
Unless you go to the Czech Republic, it's Souhrada.
See, okay, that's why I was like a little confused. I was like, I don't want to mess this up. Okay, cool.
Yeah. They made fun of me when I went there and pronounced my name incorrectly. So.
Oh, I love that. Okay, that's like me going to Italy. They didn't like me.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, very cool. So, Todd, tell everyone a little bit about yourself.
Grew up on a farm in Iowa, and I was the youngest of three brothers, and so I got the tractor with no radio, and I love music, so I used to just sing to their imaginary radio while I was out in the field, and I'd make up songs. And one of the songs that you have designated for me to talk about today is actually the first song I ever wrote, and I did it on that tractor, actually.
Oh.
Went to college, graduated, and had some different jobs in soil and water conservation. I got into law enforcement and became a state trooper for the state of Iowa.
Oh, really?
I retired from the state patrol after 23 years, and 6 years into that, I was recruited by the military to join the military, in which I put in 23 years in the Navy as a dirt sailor. I never went to sea, but I was with the special teams and the infantry, Marines, Army, so on. So I'm kind of a dirt sailor, but and retired from that after 23 years, 4 years ago. Now I do federal security for federal buildings around Iowa. I can work Nebraska, Kansas, and Missouri, but I haven't got that far. I usually keep pretty busy in Iowa.
So listen, I got to make fun of you, but I really shouldn't because you're a hero. Listen, you're having such a hard time with Eastern time and Central time, but you've done all. What are you kidding me? You're brilliant.
Well,
all right?
you were talking Zulu time. Might have been all right.
All right. Listen. Oh my gosh, you're a hero. Thank you for everything you've done.
Appreciate it, man.
Wow. And don't call me ma'am, sir. All right.
It's a habit. It's too many years.
I'm messing with you. Wow. I didn't know all that. Very cool. All right. So now you are a country gospel singer-songwriter?
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
Every song I've written is about my life. I can't sit down and just say I'm going to write a song about this topic today. It's something that happened in my life that sparks a song in my head, and I can hear the music, I can hear the lyrics, and I write down the lyrics. And then the hardest part for me is to teach myself how to play well enough to play the music. So it's made me a better guitar player.
So, all right. So let's talk a little bit about all that, because I have some silly questions about your music career. All right. So back in the day when you were growing up, did you always know you wanted to be a singer as well? Did you like the guitar? Like, when did this all really happen?
Well, I got hurt my senior year in high school. I got hurt. I couldn't play sports anymore. Hurt my back, and well, I chose not to. I guess I could have, but so my dad bought me a guitar, but never learned how to play it. But I used to sit and watch the Grand Ole Opry with my dad on Friday and Saturday nights, and instead of going out like other guys did, I just sat with my dad and watched the Grand Ole Opry, and I loved all the old classic country stuff. But music has been a part of my life. I remember, being in the car listening to the radio with my mom and my dad, and my mom was killed in 1974 in a car accident.
Oh, I'm sorry.
So, Charlie Pride, Dolly, and Porter Wagner, and Loretta Lynn, and Conway, too. All those.
Oh, Conway, baby.
Oh, yeah. All those songs were ingrained in my head. And so I just, I love music. And so George Jones, all the old, I would sing that stuff while I was sitting on the tractor and doing my work. And my grandmother used to walk around the house singing and all the time, gospel hymns. And then my mother was very musically inclined. And I'll tell a really sad story here, but my mother, she died when I was 7, and she loved to play piano. She sang in the choir at church. And she asked me one morning, she said, you want to learn how to play the piano? She liked music, because I was always singing along with her. And I said, sure. And she, my older brothers weren't into that sort of thing. And so she sat me down and she showed me one piano lesson. She showed me where middle C was on the piano. And unfortunately, she was killed a couple days later. And so that was the only piano lesson I ever had. And unfortunately, it was too difficult for me to want to sit at a piano after that. And I look back and I wish I would have. But I never learned how to play the piano because of that. But then when I was 18, my dad got me a guitar when I didn't play sports anymore. But I didn't learn how to play it until I went off to college. And I was sitting in class with a guy. His name was Benny D, and he was in a band. He said he'd teach me how to play the guitar, but I had to bring him a bottle of, I think it was Jim Beam brandy, so I had to get a bottle of Jim Beam brandy and take it to him. And then he showed me 3 chords, D, A, 7, and G, and that was my only actual lesson on the guitar I ever had. And I just kind of winged it and picked it up after that and played everything by ear.
But wait, I want to say something to you.
Yeah.
It's not too late to play the piano.
I've thought about that.
I'm going to share something with you. Hear me out, all right? Okay. Now listen. That would make Mom smile up there.
I know.
Okay, so seriously think about it and just smile knowing that she's listening and she's smiling back.
Yeah.
Okay? Yeah. And keep me posted.
I've actually talked to a couple of people about it and they haven't got back to me on it. But,
all right, keep me posted and let me know when that happens. Okay?
I will. Yeah.
All right. So now, Todd, When you were growing up, you mentioned a lot of your influences. I mean, come on, Conway Twitty, right? Forget about
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Do you have a special song that resonates with you, like that you didn't write, like growing up, like that was your song growing up?
Oh, there's so many of them.
Yeah.
I can't nail it down to just one. I mean, I just love them all. Yeah.
So,
Artists more than songs. I mean,
okay,
Johnny Cash, George Jones, the ones
okay,
I mentioned. Charlie Pride. You know what? If I had to pick one, my mom's favorite was Charlie Pride.
okay,
And another little story after she passed away, Charlie Pride had an 8-track. That's how old I am. Had an 8-track out back then, and it was all gospel hymns. And there was a song on there about "Without Mama Here." I think that's the name of it. And at night, when I felt really lonely, I would go out and put the 8-track in, and I would turn the stereo down really low, and I'd lay next to the speaker, and I'd fall asleep. And a lot of times, my dad would come out in the middle of the night, shut the stereo off, and just leave me there. But I can't tell you how many times I would lay there and listen to that. And years later, I actually found, of course, the internet's nice now, you can find anything you want, but I found the actual 8-track, and I still have it. I don't have anything to play it on, but I have it. And, but yeah, I would say Charlie Pride, probably because of my mom, just that closeness.
beautiful.
Yeah.
And you just called me old because I had 8-tracks too, man, okay? I'm probably older than you.
I don't know, born in 66, so I don't know where that leaves you.
Okay, you were born in 66?
Yeah.
He just called me and you old, Doc G. All right, my producer here and I are the same age. Okay, we were born in 61. Take it back.
Oh, come on, it's only a few years. Same generation.
So anyway, all right, so let's give everybody a treat right now. We have a couple songs of yours we're going to be playing. Let's
Okay.
play one, and then you'll talk about it. Here we go.
Lord, we felt the power of you as we stood beside her in that room, held her hands as we said goodbye. Lord, we knew she was standing by your side. So Lord, tell her we miss her, and tell her we are proud, and tell her she will always be in our lives somehow. But most of all, Lord, tell her how much we all loved her. When the days are sad and lonely, and the nights feel so long, Lord, give us hope and give us strength and the power to go on. And when we feel that aching in our hearts and we long to see her face, Lord, help us to remember she's standing in your grace. She will be forever by your side for all eternity. These tears that flow from our eyes, they're like raindrops from the sky. They wash away the sadness and help us to survive. She was a daughter and a sister and a friend to all she knew. She filled our lives with laughter and she filled our hearts with love. Lord, we thank you for our daughter, our sister, and our friend. When we see her picture on the wall, we remember the sound, her voice and her spoken word still echo in our mind. So Lord, help us to remember the blessings of her life and walk beside us every day and remind us she's alive. She will be forever in our hearts and forever on our mind. As time slowly passes by and life still lingers on, we live to see tomorrow, but we remember yesterday. So Lord, tell her we miss her and tell her we are proud. Tell her she will always be in our lives somehow. But most of all, Lord, tell her how much we all love her. Yes, most of all, Lord, tell her how much we all love her.
Absolutely beautiful. Tell everybody again about this song.
It's called Anna's Song, and unfortunately, I wrote it because we lost her March 5th of 2005. And yeah, if you've lost a child, that's a club you don't like to be in. And I was hurting pretty bad in the weeks following. And the next door lady was an elder in our church, and she stopped by one day, and I was outside doing something. I don't remember what I was doing. I might have just got home from work. I can't remember. But she stopped in and she asked me, she said, is there anything I can do for you? And I wasn't trying to be a smart aleck. It just came out. And I said, well, if you could give me 5 more minutes with my daughter so I could say goodbye, I said, I'd appreciate that. And then she said these words. She said, well, that's what you pray to God for, Todd. She said, you pray to God and you tell him, and he'll tell her for you.
Yeah.
And so I didn't think about it much at the time. And I thought, well, sorry, I get a little choked up. And I went to work. I was going to work, I think it was. I went to work that night, and I was. And I got home that next morning. I was working a midnight shift. I got home about 6 in the morning and went to bed. And what she said kept just staying in my head. And I laid down and remember laying in bed for about an hour or so. The kids went off to school. I was home alone, and all of a sudden I just woke up. And I look up and ceiling fans going around, and I can hear those words. And when I write a song, sometimes I don't think I'm really writing the song because the words just flow to me.
Who do you think wrote it? Tell me.
Well, to me, God gives
Yes.
the words to me to say.
Yes. Wait, I have to interrupt you for one quick second.
Yeah.
I tell everyone in 2016 when I wrote this book, God wrote it.
Yeah.
I did not write this book. God wrote it. You're the only
instrument that writes it down.
You're the only one I ever heard say that. So continue.
It just, I don't think I could write the song if I hadn't lived this. And those words that she said to me, and they just, all of a sudden, this flow of emotion, songs that, and when I get it, I have to like write it down right now.
Yeah.
I can't wait because I'll lose it. And so I'll write an entire song in 10 minutes, just fast as I can write. And then it's over. When that wave of emotion's over, it's over. And I tweaked this song, maybe a word here and there, but 99.9% of it, it's done. And not to get off track, but I can give you an example of that. There's a song on my album, it's called Don't Go. and I was going off to Afghanistan for the third time, I think. And my wife and I are at the airport. You do the huggy thing, and you're getting ready to go. And she kind of whispered in my ear. She said, "I know you have to go, but I don't want you to go." And I'm feeling bad about leaving, you know. I turned to get on the plane. As I'm walking down that corridor to get on the plane, I heard her say in such a soft voice, "Don't go." And I get on the plane, and I'm sitting down, chuck my bags up there, everything's ready, locked in, I'm ready to go. And all of a sudden, the song starts coming to me. And so I asked the stewardess, I said, can I get up and get something out of my bag? I got to write something down. She says, "No, you can't. The plane's about ready to take off." I said, "Well, I need something to write on. I don't care what it is. I need something to write on." She came back with a white paper vomit sack and a crayon, and I wrote that entire song between Cedar Rapids and Chicago in less than 30 minutes. The whole song was done.
With a crayon.
The crayon and
What
vomit
color
sack.
was the crayon? Pink or purple?
Yeah, no, it was like a reddish, gotta be reddish.
No.
So, anyways, that's how it comes to me. I wrote this song about our daughter, and it just, I don't know, it went really well, and the music just came to me, and I learned how to play it, and so that's how the song came about. And I credit Lois a lot too. She was the neighbor lady that came in. She's very Lois Stauffer, very nice lady. Her husband actually used to be kind of like a spiritual mentor to me, and he passed away at 58, which I am right now. And that seemed like so long ago.
Right.
But anyways, that's how that song came to life, and so I had to include it on my album. As a matter of fact, I just found out today that it's now number 57 on the independent country and gospel charts for 2024.
Woo, baby. Yes.
Gone from 77 to 57 right now. So yeah.
Very cool.
So
May I ask how old your daughter was?
she was 16.
Okay, very sorry to hear that.
And she died with her best friend
In an accident?
in a car accident. Yeah.
Sorry,
Yeah.
Todd. Very sorry.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know, in combat and even in the state patrol, there were several times when I should have perished. And as a matter of fact, almost a year to the day, I had an accident where I should have died, and I didn't, going 130 down the road. And our kids were doing 45 on a sharp curve and went through the ditch, and neither one of them made it. And
Can never understand. I get it.
you don't. It's just, and people say, well, it's your time, and I don't buy that because I've been to war and things that happen, and I don't blame God for taking lives. It's just not how I believe it. But all he says is that when you perish, you have a place in my world if you believe in me, and that's the way I believe it.
I agree with you. I feel
Yeah.
the same way as you. Yes.
Yeah. I've seen too many bad things happen to let
Yes.
God be responsible for that. And I don't want to get onto a preaching gig or anything like that, but I have very strong feelings about things, and that's just one of them. But there's several songs on that album that are gospel songs. Almost actually half of them are that I wrote. One's about my mom. It's called The Bells. You wouldn't really know it's about my mom unless you knew the story behind it. And but there's a song on there called "I Want to Go Home," and I was in Afghanistan, sitting in the Rock Chapel, which is basically a tin shed where we used to worship, and I was really struggling. And I went in there and sat down one day and picked up the guitar, and I started playing it, and I want to go home, and the words came out of my mouth, "I want to go home." And I thought it was going to be a country song, and the words came to me, and in less than 5 minutes, I never even wrote the song down. I just had it, and it wasn't until years later I wrote the song down. I actually recorded it, and a guy by the name of Robbie Witowski helped me produce my album. He passed away during COVID, and now Bobby G. Rice actually helps promote my stuff along with Caden Gordon. So
we got to give a big shout out to Caden. He
Oh, yeah.
introduced us.
Yeah.
We love you, man. He's
Yeah,
so
yeah.
incredible.
Yeah, he's a good kid. Yeah.
Yeah. He even messaged me today to make sure everything was cool. I got the
Right,
song.
yeah,
Yeah, we
yeah.
love you, Caden.
Oh yeah, good guy. He really goes above and beyond, man. I can't believe what he's accomplished in such a short amount of time in his
Yeah.
life. Good for him.
I call him Kid. He's amazing.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So-
Yeah. When I found out how young he was, I was like, really?
Okay.
So
Insane.
yeah. So between him and Bobby, they do an awful good job for me. So
Very good. So, all right. I have a couple silly questions for you.
sure.
All right. So, growing up, I mean, you're a country gospel singer, but growing up, did you ever like rock or any of that? Like,
Oh,
so tell
yeah.
me.
Well, I
tell
love
me-
classic rock because especially when I was in the military, you couldn't go to an opera. You didn't do an opera without listening to AC/DC, Thunderstruck
Okay.
stuff.
Who else?
Boston. I love Fleetwood Mac.
Yep.
Oh, geez, I'm drawing a blank now. Let's
No,
see.
all right, but you did.
No,
You like.
well, Elvis is, I think, my all-time favorite
Well,
singer.
okay, now I love you. All right, honey. Because, listen, Elvis is my boy.
Oh
All right?
yeah, yeah.
Come on.
I can do a mean Elvis impression. So,
So come on, do it.
oh, come on.
Nope, you said it. Let's go. Nope, nope.
Oh, geez, I don't know if I can do it right now.
Yes, you can. Try.
Huh?
Try.
Oh boy. Let's see. I gotta figure what song I want to do here.
You said it.
I'm drawing a blank now. You said it, and I've drawn a blank. Give me a second. I'll think of
All
something
right.
here.
Anything. Blue suede shoes.
No, I don't do that one. It's a gospel song. I can't think
Oh,
of.
how great thou art.
Yeah. There we go.
Let's go.
All right. Oh Lord, my God, when I awesome wonder consider all the worlds thy hands have made. I see the stars, and I hear roll of thunder, thy power throughout the universe displayed. How's that?
That's amazing. Thank you for doing that. Beautiful. So I want to tell you about my dad. So when my dad passed away, he had Alzheimer's, and we had the service in the funeral home. My pastor came there, and I wrote a poem for my dad about his life, and I gave the funeral home Elvis Presley's gospel CD, and I told them they had to play this one particular song first, and they did. You know, when I get to heaven, howdy, howdy to mama, you know? So they played that. Then when we were all pretty much done, then I read my dad's poem. And at the end of the poem, I said, but when I get to heaven, the party will start. Elvis Presley will be singing How Great Thou Art. And they played it, and that's how my dad went out.
There you go.
It was so beautiful.
Yeah.
So
cool.
thank you for that. That was beautiful.
Oh,
Wow. You
good,
gave me
good, thank
chills. Wow. Thank you.
Yeah.
So, all right. So now, did you ever take singing lessons? Do you play any instruments? Tell us everything.
I was in chorus and swing choir when I was in high school, and I get really frustrated because I understand music, but I don't read it super well. I never really had any lessons,
Yeah.
and which I kind of kick back to my mom's situation. I kind of walked away from that. I wish I hadn't, but anyways, like I said, I learned how to play guitar in college. I just kind of picked it up, and I kind of learned how to play everything on my own. I just kind of make it up as I go along. I play it by ear, and mostly play with a pick. I can do a little finger picking, but I don't like it as well. I don't get the sound I want, so I play with a pick, and I do it kind of an unconventional way. I don't know why. It just so. But I haven't perfected the guitar, so I haven't really moved on. I have a lot of guitars. I love Gibson guitars. I have like 5 of them, and I'm looking at another one, but it's super expensive, and it's like the price of a car.
Oh my gosh.
I have way too much wrapped up in my antique Winchester guns and my Gibson guitars.
Oh my gosh.
In my old Chevy truck. So
Oh my gosh.
yeah. So but that's in the music that I've done, I don't know. I write them down. I have enough to do another album, and I'm trying to save up to do that so I can get it recorded
Okay.
and multiple songs. I have a song on there that I'm trying to finish, and I'm having a hard time putting music to it, but it's a song about my best friend was killed in Afghanistan on Thanksgiving Day 2014, and it's kind of a song about why is he gone and why am I still here, and it's very touching military.
Wow.
A hard time I got the words down, I just can't get the music put to it, and so. But they're not all sad songs. I wrote a song about coffee when I was in Italy because coffee's a big thing in Italy. So you'd probably get a kick out of that song.
So wait, you don't. I mean, can you give me just a little bit of what it's like?
Oh gosh.
Even if you just tell me the words, tell me. I mean, just a little bit of it.
Let's see here.
Do you remember?
I got it written down. I got to go look at it.
You got to send me that because I would really like to hear that. Okay.
I don't have it copywritten yet, but when it comes out, you'll hear
All
it. So
right.
it's
All
gonna be
right.
on the album when I do it, but it is, yeah.
That's so funny because I went to
Yeah.
Italy with my dad. My dad was born and raised in Italy, and he always wanted to go
Yeah.
back with me, and we went in the 90s.
Yeah.
That's so funny. All right, I got to.
It's all about cappuccino, mocha, espresso. It's in the song. It's all about it's pretty cool.
All
Yeah.
right. You got to send me some of the words. I just want to hear it,
Well, I'll tell
okay?
you, sometime I'll get you on the phone. I'll play it for
Yeah,
you.
yeah,
Like,
yeah,
I
please.
haven't played it in so long. I just haven't done it in a while. 'cause
That's
I've
so
been
funny. Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
Todd. All right, I wish you sent me that. Oh, it's not recorded yet. Okay.
It's
So
not
now,
recorded yet.
all right, so now let's play your second song and then we'll talk about it.
Okay.
All right. Here we go, producer.
I just wanna get a little, got to give a little if I'm gonna get a little bit of her love. 'Cause she's the only girl that I am thinking of. Every night I hold her tight inside my dreams and then I cry. 'Cause I know that she will never be here by my side. I just wanna hold her, I got to hold her. Oh, if I could hold her, I'd hold her so tight. And if I could hold you, babe, well, I'd hold you with all of my might. And if she stood next to me, I'd be as proud as I could be. 'Cause now there's nothing left to hide, my dear. I want you here by my side. I just wanna love her, I got to love her. If I could love her, I'd love her tonight. And if I could love you, babe, well, I'd love you with all of my might. And if love still makes you blind, I'm just as blind as I can be. 'Cause now without her love, there's no love, and there'll be no love left for me. I just wanna get a little, got to give a little if I'm gonna get a little bit of her love. And she's the only girl that I am thinking of. Every night I hold her tight inside my dreams and then I cry. 'Cause I know that she will never be here by my side. Every night I hold her tight inside my dreams and then I cry. 'Cause I know that she will never be here by my side.
All right, that was really cool. Tell us about that.
First song I ever wrote. That's the song I wrote on the tractor when I was 18 years old or
So,
19.
your first one you said?
First one.
Okay, go ahead.
And it's about my girlfriend at the time. And I was riding on the 560 International hauling manure. Every spring when everybody else went to Fort Lauderdale and horsing around, we hauled manure on the farm. So I didn't have a radio, so I was the radio. And I wrote that song in my head just driving around, came up with the chorus line, and it kind of evolved. And before the day was done, I had it down. I never wrote it down. I just had it in my head for years. And when I got time to record, I didn't even have to write it down. I
Wow.
just played it. So I've had several songs. There's a song on my album called "Stone on Your Memory," and I never wrote that one down either. I just had it in my head. I always thought George Jones should have sang that song, but I never got a chance to pitch it to him. But anyway, Get a Little Love was about my girlfriend, who actually is my wife, who we've been married 38 years, and she just stuck her head in a minute ago. So
She could say hi. She could stick her head out.
if she comes back around, I'll wave her
And
in.
that. So this song was about your
Sure.
wife now, who was your
Yeah.
girlfriend then?
Exactly.
That's
Yep.
pretty cool.
Yeah.
All
Yeah.
right.
Yeah. So, and words kind of speak for themselves. I don't know. I just kind of made it up. So, but actually, the funny part about that song is that's the first song I ever learned how to play. And the guy that gave me the guitar lesson, he only showed me was D, A7, and G in a 4/4 time. And so I'm playing it very slow, like, and it wasn't working for me. And then my buddy and I, he played guitar, and he started showing me. He says, "You ever try E?" And I didn't know what the E chord was. He showed me the E chord, and we started playing the E. Well, then I sped it up quite a bit because it's on. And then I actually picked something up from Elvis when he did the '68 special, and he plays. Come on, Todd. I can't think of the song.
One of the songs. Go ahead.
Yeah, anyway, it's one of the songs. He's in his black outfit, and he's open string, closed string on the E chord, and it adds kind of a rockabilly sound. I stole that from that, and that's why I changed to E, and that's how I came up with that rhythm.
That's so
Yeah.
cool. So you
I love
stole
that.
that from Elvis, baby. That's pretty cool.
did.
All right.
That's all right, Mama. If you
Oh,
listen
there
to
you
it,
go.
that's all right, Mama. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah,
That's
which
pretty
is
cool.
his first song, actually. Yeah, which is kind of cool. So,
Oh my gosh, that's so
yeah.
cool.
I use that all the time when I'm playing. I'm always open, closed stringing all the time on my chords. I just, to me, to play a chord, just a regular downstrum or upstrum, it's so boring. I like to add an extra beat to it, especially if you're the only guy on stage. You gotta liven it up a little bit. So yeah,
All right, so there you go, man. You stole
Yeah.
from Elvis. I'm going to be telling this story, okay, man?
I borrowed.
No, listen, I like that you stole it. Listen, he's happy you stole that from him. What are you kidding me?
Yeah.
All right. So I want to read something out of my book real quick. I'm going to be reading a poem in a little while, but I want to read a few things out of the Jesus poem real quick, just because we were talking about God. All right. So, all right, here we go. All right, here we go. You know how, like, people always think, like, when bad things happen, like, how could God make these things happen? And he doesn't. Okay, so here we go. All right. I found God, the real one, I mean, not statues on crosses, but the God I have seen. I cried out one night, whoever's out there, please show me the truth. Does anyone care? It was then that I heard him as clear as can be. I'm here and I care. I made you for me. You are not alone. I will lead the way. I'll never leave you. Your price I did pay. I'll protect you and guide you as long as you want. Tell me your sorrows. I'm your confidant. I'm your heavenly father. You're my earthly kid. There was a price on you to the highest of bid. It was then that I marked you and said you were mine. I knew at that moment you were made to shine. So that's just a little piece of it. There's like 3 pages of the Jesus poem, but I just wanted to read that for you because
Well,
I feel the same way you do.
I'll add something to that. When our daughter died, and we stood in line at the visitation for 5 hours. 1,800 people came through, and I can't tell you how many people said to me, "I can't believe God took your daughter," and that broke my heart because I felt like people were blaming God,
Yeah.
and I didn't think that was right. In my thoughts, I've been around the law enforcement, and combat, and military. There's so much. It's the evil in the world that takes
That's
this. It's
right.
not God. It's not God. And
It's
so,
not God.
the day of her funeral, I stood up and I addressed that in front of about 2,400 people. I addressed that and I said, God doesn't take our people. He just gives us a place to go to when we leave this earth. We go to His world.
That's right.
And I wanted to make sure that I got that across because it really hurt me that people were upset at God. And I said, you don't dare be upset at God. I stood in the morgue. I would not let my daughter go to the morgue. I went with her. I sat in the room and I wouldn't let her go to the morgue until the funeral director came. And when he came, I remember this like it was yesterday. He was getting ready to take her. And I said, you remember that she's not just a corpse, she's my daughter. And I said, you treat her with respect. And before I let her go with the funeral director, I prayed and I looked up at God and I said, you said you give her a place in heaven, and I'm going to hold you to that
Yes.
until I get there.
Yes.
And I'm going to tell you something else. I don't know if you seem like the kind of person that might appreciate this, but in those few moments, I had to tell the nurses and the doctors to turn the machine off and let her go. And in those moments, I can't describe the feeling, You remember the old show with Michael Landon and
Oh, sure.
Angel, what's it called?
Right.
Heaven, something, Highway to Heaven.
Yeah, yes.
And at the end where the dove is there and it's kind of like a big glowy ball. I saw the big glowing ball and it was like you're in an aura by yourself and you realize it's just you and your wife, but I can't explain it to people, but the moment she left, I swear God was in the room with
I
us.
believe you.
And 5 minutes later, when everything shut down and we started to leave the room, he was gone, she was gone, and it was just us walking out the door. And to tell people, and I can't tell people that aura that I felt, and I think my wife says she felt it. It's unbelievable.
It's unbelievable.
It is.
People, all right. People say, "Oh yeah, right," blah blah. Oh no, 100%,
Oh yeah, yeah.
100%. Real quick, I'll tell you this story then about my book. So in 2016, I was woken up in the middle of the night and I heard, "Write your book," and I sat up and I giggled and I said, "You want me to write my book?" And I heard, "Write your book." Now I didn't know why, so I said, "All right, Lord, I'll write the book." So my dad had Alzheimer's, and we were caring for my dad, and I called my brother because I stay home once a year for a month and fast for health. And I said, Aunt, I didn't tell him or my daughter I was writing a book. I said, I'm going to be fasting next week for the month. You're on dad duty. Okay. 3 weeks, the book was written. 3 weeks, the book was written. That's why it was God. Okay. So I didn't know it, but my book comes out. Simon and Schuster called me. They loved my book. They published it immediately. Within 6 weeks of me writing this, my book was out. And I'm waiting for my shipment. And all my cousins are showing me that they've got my books. My Petito cousins all over New York and everything. Well, I didn't know it. I get a call from one of my cousins, and she says, "We need you tonight." She had to go pick up my cousin from Florida, who I watched grow up. He owns a piece of my heart. He's mentioned in my book, and he was using crystal meth and lost his mind. I saved God, but I mean through my book, they knew they could reach out to me. I got him in a rehab, stayed with him for the 30 days, and then another cousin. Now it's helped so many people, but God knew that book had to be written then for us to be able to help my cousin. And so God is so faithful and on time. And I tell people this too, and it's in that poem as well, that he gives us free will. And I want to live with free will. But along with free will comes our choices and our consequences.
Right.
So that's why I say God didn't do these things.
Exactly.
Yes.
And to go along with your experience, I joined the state patrol because God told me to.
See?
And people sit there and go, "You hearing voices?" No, there was a nagging in my soul that I had to do that for years, and it didn't go away until I did it. There was a nagging in my soul that I had to join the military, and it didn't go away until I did it. There's a nagging in my soul that I have to write these music down. And I don't make any money doing this. I do it for fun. I do it because I want to get my music out to people.
Yep.
And even about my daughter's song, I have songs like this one about Sergeant Sergeant Major Green.
Okay.
I have to write that song and honor him, and I can't get it done yet. But it stays in here. It's in your heart. It's in your soul. If you don't do it, once it's done, it all goes away. So don't tell me that I'm doing it to myself. You know.
No, you're not.
Yeah.
No, you're not.
So
now, Todd, I want to give the mic back to you as
Sure.
far as your music career.
Yeah.
I want you to be able to tell everybody listening everything you've wanted to tell them, how they can get your music, like what's going on. I don't want you to forget anything important. The mic is yours.
Right now, you can follow me on Todd Souhrada, Souhrada Country on Facebook. You can friend me on Facebook. It's Todd Souhrada, and you'll see it. It has a picture of an eagle in a tree, and then the other one has my guitars on it. So there's two actual ones, but you can join either one, or you can follow me. That's where I do most of my advertisement right now, just because it costs a lot of money, either that or through Caden and through Bobby, who are promoting my stuff. I'm trying to save up money to do another album. My goal of working was to get a couple of albums done up, and then I'm hoping to start doing festivals like in the summer and stuff, go around and do festivals. And then my goal is to like do a festival in an area and then call up the neighboring churches and say, hey, I'm in town. Can I do a show for you on Sunday morning, kind of a deal, just to do the gospel side of it.
Yeah.
And so, like I said, it's not about making money. It's just about something I've always wanted to do. And to me, this is what's important. And I've said this, and actually, when I said it, I thought, well, that wasn't a very big amount of people. But the more you think about it, it's a lot more people than you think. But if 1% of the population likes my music, I figure that's success. But that's a lot of people if you think about it.
Yes.
And so I just want somebody to appreciate my songs and my music. I sell CDs. I number them and sign them all. I think I'm into 300s now. And you can request one off of Facebook if you get on there and request them. I'll send them out. I'm supposed to charge money for them. I have a hard time doing that because I just want people to listen to my music. But I do supposed to get 15. The money was supposed to go to helping me make another album, but I have such a hard time charging people for stuff. I just wanted to listen to my music.
Yep.
And,
You know how many
so-
books I've given away? Me and my brother. My brother's a saint. He's like, all right, how many are we buying this month to give away?
I just bought another batch of 50 a while ago, and I don't think I've sold 5 of them on there.
Okay.
Some people
Beautiful.
want, and some people are really gracious. I did a show with Bobby Rice, his 80th birthday out in Wisconsin here last summer, and people wanted some, and they mailed me money afterwards, sent them to them. It was really nice. So I put the money in the account, and I'm going to use it for my next album. And so
There you go.
I play for church and playing Christmas. I'm doing a Silent Night for Christmas, and been practicing on that. And I haven't played as much as I usually do. Fall of the year, I do a lot of hunting. I just like to be out in the woods and just the peace and quiet of being out there. And so I take a little break, but I'm going to hit it full hard here again around January. And
All right.
yeah, hopefully I can start. I'd love to go play places. I had a band before COVID, and then as COVID hit, I ended up getting sent to Romania as executive officer of a missile defense base, and that was my last duty.
Oh my gosh.
And when I left, I had a band, and when I came back, COVID, it just kind of ruined it, and everybody kind of went their own way. So I don't have a band right now, but I'm trying to put something together. But, I would go play someplace, and I'm sure there's house bands that are pretty good that can follow, and I would do that. But that's my goal down the road, is to get out and do more music and hopefully retire from working and just spend some weekends playing. That's all I want to do. I mean, besides my normal stuff.
Beautiful. Well,
Yeah.
I'm so honored that we finally got this interview.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, me too,
Long
me
time
too.
waiting. It was
Yeah.
amazing. So you're awesome. I mean, as a
Oh, no,
person,
thank you.
everything you've
You
done,
too.
you're a hero. And the music is incredible, and God's got you. And I'm just like, wow, blown away. Thank you so much.
Well, I hope we talk more than just here. I'd visit with you anytime.
Yeah, because I want to still make fun of you. So we will talk again, okay?
That's all right. I got thick skin. I was an officer in the military as a state trooper. You can hurt my feelings. Hey, you know what? As long as you bring a donut to the party, you can call me
There you
whatever
go.
you want.
Where do you guys live, by the way?
Iowa. I'm in Iowa,
Okay.
northeast Iowa. Yeah.
Iowa, okay.
Little town called West Union, south of Decorah. It's a really nice, beautiful area.
Well, before we close with my theme song, I want you to take the mic, take about 30 seconds, and give somebody out there who needs to hear a word of encouragement.
Music-wise, or just
Oh, wait.
life?
Wait. I didn't read the poem yet, did I?
No, you
Oh,
did not.
no. I have to read this poem first. And then you're going to think about what you're going to tell them. I want you to give them a word of encouragement, okay? So, the reason why I wrote this poem, it's called Utilizing Gifts and Talents. It's because a lot of people, like I get messages all the time, Todd, that I wish I could sing like your guest. I wish I could write poetry like you. They think they don't have anything to offer. God's given everyone a gift. It's up to us to figure out what that gift is and use it, okay? So if this is you, if you have some self-doubt, please listen to every word of this poem, okay? We are born with talents, we are born with drive, with different gifts to help us thrive. I knew early on I was born to draw and paint, to also write poetry, and to talk without restraint. Our gifts and talents should all be used. God's gift to us, not be abused. We can go far in life for sure, using our gifts to go on tour. All our talents should be used to create ourselves and more, but then our job's to share them, to even up the score. You see, in life, what's needed is not just for ourselves. Once our gifts are mastered, take them off the shelves. A living we can make by spreading them around, not just for the money, but to spread a peaceful sound. So don't take for granted the gifts you're given. Go out and spread the joy. Our gifts are not to be held back for us to self-destroy. Put your efforts forth. Do not hesitate. All your talents, my friend, are never second rate. Never hold them back or you will surely die. Maybe not in body, but your soul will cry. Our gifts were made to share, our talents made to soar. Go through life enlightened, and then you can roar. Be proud of who you are. Be happy you're alive. Once again, my friend, your gifts will help you thrive. By putting efforts forth, not keeping them at bay, your name, Todd, baby, will live forever, forever and a day. So go through life excited for what you sure can give. To yourself and others is our reason to live. Our grave will be quite lonely, but our legacy lives on. So make sure people smile with the breaking dawn. And that's what you're doing. You're making people smile, okay?
Thank you.
Again, I didn't know. You're a hero. You've made so many people smile. You're still making people smile, and God's smiling, and God's got you, kid, okay? So now give everybody, something to give them some encouragement.
Mike, I can't really top what you just said, but I was not popular when I was in school. I was a kid that kind of went my own way. And I went to my 40th class reunion for the first time since I got out of school. I've seen these people. And I was so amazed that so many of them wanted to see me.
Yes.
They'd been following me on Facebook and my music. And one young lady who was, very popular, she says, "Who knew, that I could sing and do that?" And I said, "Well, I did, but I wasn't one that really stuck out when I was younger. I didn't take the chance. Wasn't as involved. I was kind of shelled in." And so my advice to people, because there's a lot of people like me in the world, you have a light and you can let it shine as bright as you want to. And when you're in school and everybody's fighting the popularity contest, but once you get out of school and people go their own way, they'll look back and realize that everybody's a person and everybody has strengths and weaknesses and everybody's important. And what I really saw in that 40-year class reunion that I didn't see when we graduated high school was the kids that weren't popular were just as important at that time as all the other ones, and everybody was on equal playing ground. And my advice is don't give up on your dreams. There were times when I struggled myself, thinking, "Oh, I'm not very good, I shouldn't do this." You know what? You just give out there and go, and if you breed confidence in what you do, other people will see it too. And who cares if everybody doesn't like what you do? Who cares? If 1 person out of 10 likes what you do and you make them smile and you make them happy, you did something. And if there's 1 person in the world that likes my music and it changes their life, or it brings them to God, or it keeps them from having a bad day, more power to you. The song and the song, the reason that's so important to me, if you're a part of a I Lost a Child club, it's a painful, painful club. And I wish I could I would send a CD to every mom and dad that lost a child, because I'd like to think that it'd help them. And that's why it's so important to me. So I thank you so much for having me on your show. And it's an honor, and I've really enjoyed it. And I hope we get to talk again someday.
You honored me today, trust me. Thank you, Todd.
Yep.
Producer, take us out.
Ladies and gentlemen, Geri Petito.
I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass. And in time, this too shall pass. I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass. Geri Petito taught the class. I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass. Love's the answer, the greener grass. I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass. One day at a time, free at last.
When you don't know just what to do.
Just what to do, just what to do.
If what you're feeling is really true.
It's really true, is it really true?
Just keep your ideas safe and sound.
Safe and sound, safe and sound.
That's exactly how change is found.
Change is found, change is found. I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass. And in time, this too shall pass. I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass. Geri Petito taught the class. I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass. Loves the answer, the greener grass. I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass. One day at a time, free at last.